The following broadcast is intended for mature audiences. These are real people sharing very real, deeply personal experiences. This content may be considered triggering for others and for those who are sharing. The chat room is a privilege intended for discussions and sharing. You are not being asked to agree, but you are being asked to stay civil and refrain from personal attacks. Listener discretion is advised.
Oh, hi! Welcome back to Am I Mental? Forgive me for my momentary lapse in the dead air there. This is a live, mostly weekly podcast where real people talk about their real issues regarding mental health and... Forgive me, I've just lost my train of thought.
All right. Like how mental health affects our lives.
Yes, thank you. This is why we have you. And today, unfortunately, our host E is not feeling very well. He has the COVID. So we're all sending him lots of wishes so that he gets better soon. So you're stuck with me as your host. I'm Bexy, and of course, today I also have C and J as well.
Hello.
Hi. And I'm taking today's episode. I have some things to talk about, and one fairly big announcement. So I'm just gonna go ahead and keep talking.
All right.
I mean, everybody, I think, most people who are dedicated listeners to the show know that I have autoimmune issues, and that especially this past season, they've been giving me a lot more grief than they normally do. And that's basically all that has really been said, but there's a little more to it than that. I have found out that the autoimmune disease is progressing. Some new symptoms are popping up. One of them is randomly getting hives. I will just randomly break out into itchy spots all over, and they're not always, it's not always like hives on my arms. They're, it's awful when you're out in public and you get a rash on your butt. I'm just gonna say that right now.
Yeah.
One of those. Oh my God! How can I very discreetly scratch this? Because it's driving me crazy. But but so that's one of the new symptoms that I'm dealing with, and I've been put on an allergy med for that, which has actually helped me a lot this spring because my allergies haven't been as bad as normal, and I haven't had as many flare-ups with the hives breaking out since I started taking the allergy pill every day, which is great. And it's just an over-the-counter allergy medicine, which is fantastic. So I don't have to pay for something super expensive or anything like that. I had an issue a while back, a few weeks ago, where I accidentally took a double dose of all of my daytime medicines, which was not a good situation. So that's because I've been having memory issues, and it's that worries me. To correct that, I recently purchased a automated pill dispenser. All of my meds are in it, and it's programmed to release the correct meds at the proper times, and they just plop down into a little cup under the machine, and I can take my meds without having to worry about, if I've got the dosage correct or if I've already taken it, because it won't dispense any other than at the recommended time of day that I've set it for. And I can always check the app on my phone because it's connected to the machine, and it will tell me, yes, you've taken today's dose, or no, you haven't.
Fantastic.
That's a big relief off of my mind. The
Wow.
machine is made by a company called Hero. It's I saw the ad on Facebook and checked it out, and it's not cheap, but for my peace of mind, it was well worth it. So
Good.
I take high blood pressure meds, and that sometimes as did I take it? And I don't want to go the day without it, but don't want to double it. So
and yeah, that was one of my things. I take I have 2 blood pressure pills, and one of them I've been on for years, not for my blood pressure, but it protects my kidneys from my diabetic medicine.
Nice.
And the other one is actually for my high blood pressure, but I accidentally got a double dose of both of them and spent the day completely disoriented.
Oh.
So it was pretty awful. Another worrisome thing, something that has always worried me, is eventually I'm going to lose my voice because of this. And that has been happening to me more and more often, where I wake up and I'm hoarse and can barely talk, or I can't talk at all. That's a sad thing for me, because it took me years to find my voice, and I felt I got a bit depressed about thinking that, this disease is going to take my voice from me, until E, in his infinite wisdom, pointed out that as long as I can write, nobody will ever take my voice.
Yeah,
exactly.
And because I'm part of this podcast, my voice is out there on the internet, traveling around the world, and people will know my story. And that gave me a lot of comfort. And all of this is a very, very long-winded way of me saying that everybody out there listening, you guys are wonderful and amazing, and it is with a very, very heavy heart that I have to say this is my last episode co-hosting Am I Mental permanently. It was a hard decision, but I think it was absolutely the right decision for me, because I love this podcast and everything that it stands for, and I feel like I'm not doing it justice, because I've been having so many issues with this, with the autoimmune disease and everything. I am entirely wiped out by the end of the day, and there were days when I spent most of a podcast muted because it was hurting so bad, and I didn't want anybody to hear me sob or cry. I am not leaving the podcast for good. I will be available in case one of the others are not able to be on. And, that's another thing that I want to say, is that I'm leaving you all in very, very, very capable hands, because Jay will be taking my spot as co-host. And I'm absolutely ecstatic about that. I don't think I could have asked for somebody better to take over. And I know that Am I Mental is only going to keep growing, and I'm going to be there for that. I'm going to be doing some behind the scenes stuff. I think I'm going to try to navigate my way around the Teespring store, maybe make some more merchandise, get some more things up, maybe make the funny t-shirts that we've all been talking about.
Yes.
Because goodness knows the world needs more skin babies.
Babies.
I am very I expect it to be, a bit sad telling everybody this, but I'm not going away for good. Like a bad penny, I'm gonna keep turning up. I will definitely be in the chat room. For the episodes that come after this one, I will still very much be a part of the Am I Mental community. You can't get rid of me that easily. And like
right
I said,
out of the gate, I have scheduling problems for this summer, so you're already filling in for me.
And that's something that you and I discussed too. It's like, yes, I'm happy to fill in when somebody has the scheduling issue. I'll be right there, and I think that's going to be awesome. It's going to be good for me.
Yeah.
Because we always stress to everyone else that your mental health comes first before everything.
Yeah.
And
Right.
sometimes we are all reluctant to follow our own advice on that. I understand, and I am especially guilty of that. Sometimes I would sacrifice, my mental well-being for things that I felt were more important. And at first, yeah, well, when E and I were discussing this at first, I was hesitant to say that, I think maybe I should, bow out, and because I should have known better, but my irrational mind thought, if I'm not, listed as co-host and not, I know that I'm having issues being able to be present for the show, but I don't want to be just like left out of everything completely. And that was a totally irrational fear, because I know that he would never, ever tell me, no, you're never going to be a part of Am I Mental again.
Exactly.
It's more like, okay, how can we make sure she sticks around?
Yes.
And trust me, I may have to, for my own physical well-being and for my own mental health, I have to step back for a little while, but I will in no way be gone, because I'm still a part of, the Discord. I will be in chat when we have episodes. Shut up, E. I'm sorry, you guys. I just saw E post in the chat.
I saw the chat, yeah.
Nah, she's a goner. That's what E said.
It's so, surreal to me to be on this show today and laughing and happy when I'm delivering this news, but I am happy because I know that the podcast is going to go on and it is going to do great, and I'm still going to be a part of it, and I'm taking care of myself, which is something that we really, really do, stress on here. Is we're always telling people, take care of you, and it's sometimes hard to put into practice. This was a hard decision. It's, And after I made the decision, I wrote something, and I want to state while I'm reading this that at the time when I wrote this, I was feeling very bad, but I was not having any kind of suicidal thoughts or thinking about death or anything like that. It was merely my way of processing my decision to step back and to say goodbye to the full-time co-hosting thing. And that is all that I want. I want people to know that is exactly what this particular poem is about, and I am in no way, shape, form, or fashion in a dark place. And so after Ian and I had that very what felt like a very, very long phone conversation, but it probably really wasn't more than 20 minutes, but it felt very long because I had to admit things that I was not wanting to admit, not even to myself at that time. I wrote this. Tired of hearing this too shall pass, the words have lost their shine. I'm tired of feeling like I'm made of glass and growing brittle with the passage of time. There's so much I haven't done, so much I've yet to see, and with the setting of each sun, I lose a little bit more of me. Memories are slipping through my mind like water through a sieve, and my voice begins to falter, to fail, and this is no way to live. But don't pity me, my darling friends, for that's one thing that I could not bear. I just want you to remember your Bexy, even when she isn't there.
Always.
I can't express to you guys, every single one of you out there listening, E, J, C, every guest we've ever had, I can't tell you how much of an impact you guys have had on my life. I have laughed and cried and squirted various liquids of different viscosities out of my nose because of all of you. I've been moved to tears, and I have laughed hysterically until my sides hurt because of all of the people involved with this podcast. And it has been absolutely one of the most amazing things I've ever done. I am so proud of E for all that he has done to make this show, and all of the hard work that he put into just creating it, writing the music. Okay.
I mean, hi. So, yeah, I hurt like hell.
Welcome.
I really hurt like hell, but I'm listening. And honestly, this podcast wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you kicking my ass every goddamn day from the day I even floated the idea until I finally went ahead and launched it. So this podcast is just as much your product as it is mine. And I am so proud that we have your voice immortalized. So even if Hashimoto's takes it, your voice is, like you said, forever on the internet, forever going to be touching people's lives and helping people find their way. And it has been an absolute honor having you on as a co-host. And it sucks so much having to hear you say goodbye. But, we're just going to transition. There's other things that you can do. And I want you involved in this podcast for, as long as you are capable.
Oh, I definitely definitely will be a part of this podcast for as long as I'm able to be in some way, shape, or form.
And I still plan on getting you to shoot soda out your nose as often as I can.
Oh,
Okay, now I'm gonna go lay down again. I'm still listening.
okay.
All right, go rest,
brother.
please.
You know, this is an emotional experience, and I'm laughing through my tears right now. I'm I know that this isn't goodbye.
No.
Not by a long shot.
No.
It's more like a see you later. Because I don't.
It's a see you differently.
Yeah, I don't plan on giving up. Having some kind of involvement in the show. It's definitely something that I'm passionate about, and that I want to help continue. I want to, push the show further still, get the word out there to more people, help book guests, do whatever I can do to make it a success, more so than it already is, because as E has said often, we have had people credit this show with saving their life, and that's made it entirely worth it. And sorry guys, I'm tearing up a little bit.
Oh, it's fine. I don't have to apologize.
Volunteer positions are the most emotional to part ways with. I've served on a couple boards and, like Get a Rock Museum and stuff, things that you're passionate about. It's a really complicated role to shift away from. So I understand how difficult this is. And this has been even more intimate weekly, and something so personal as your mental health. That investment, that emotional investment, I understand as upset as you are, and it's complicated.
It's most definitely an emotional investment, because this is something that, I really did. I pushed E to do this a lot. Every time you mention it, I'd be like, so what have you done about it? Have you started a show yet? When's your podcast coming out? I need to know when you're going to do this. I want to subscribe. and I'm so glad I did. He, at one point in my life, kicked my butt when it needed to be kicked. And I was more than happy to return the favor and give his booty a little smack about the podcast. And if he was feeling better, here's where he'd say something clever like, I just wanted to feel his ass.
That's right. That would be E.
But, even
he says my ass is pretty damn fantastic.
So he has said.
He also says Bexy will rise, my willow.
Oh.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's definitely, he compared me to that long ago, and yeah, it's apt. I agree. That's my favorite analogy for myself is, yes, I'm very much a willow tree. I will bend, but I don't break. And even now, Hashimoto's may bend me out of shape a few times, but it hasn't broken me. And all of my good days are what get me through my bad ones. And the people around me, the ones that I've chosen to surround myself with, are just amazing and supportive. And that includes you three on this call with me tonight. I love you guys, all of you. I love our listeners. I don't really have a whole lot more to say other than, I am going to miss this, but I know that just as soon as I start to miss it too much, I'm sure that there will be, a spot where I can slide in and be like, hey, hi, how are you? I'm back on the air for a minute.
Yeah.
Um,
Exactly.
I know that this is this is kind of a short season finale, but I think,
well, you're not feeling well, E's not
Yeah.
feeling well, I've got a fractured
you're
back.
hurting.
I think we're all sort of a mess right now.
Yes, and I think honestly, if I can say just a couple more things, and then I think it'll be done for me. I had something that I wanted to. I just have to find what I did with it.
Okay.
This is the problem with storing files on your phone. You're constantly searching for what you want.
Well, in the meantime, I'll say that it sounds like we've already got quite an interesting lineup for next season.
Oh,
We're all pretty excited.
I'm very excited for next season and to see in general, the guests that we that have been lined up and everything like that. I think it's going to be amazing. And here's one thing that I know I wanted to say, because I've always had issues with this. I've always thought that because of the way that I was raised and brought up, I've always thought that the way that I love is a little off or wrong, and I've learned over the years that it's not true. So I want to say to everybody out there, never be ashamed of how much you love or how quickly you fall. Love full, complete. Oh wait, hang on. I'm sorry. Love fully, love completely, but most importantly, love naturally, and don't ever apologize for it. Don't ever be sorry for loving the way your heart knows how to love.
Oh, I love it.
Love it
Thank
too.
you.
There are multiple, reasons that people will try to tell you that, oh, how can you say that you love people? Well, people hate for no reason, so I can love for no reason.
Yes.
Exactly.
I would rather spread, joy and happiness and smiles and love around than to live in a world where things like that, people who do that, don't exist. I'm always going to be that emotional girl. I am forever, on the I'm the one who'll cry with you, laugh with you. So I even posted on the Am I Mental page earlier today on the Facebook page. I even posted a meme that says, just because you can feel their pain does not mean you are supposed to carry it. Empathy without healthy emotional boundaries just hurts. And that was a hard lesson for me to learn how to care but not carry someone else's pain, because it is very hard.
All right.
That is a huge skill.
Yes, and it's one of those things that I definitely wanted to make sure to reiterate again, because I've said that before on different shows, and it still is something that I think more people need to hear as often as possible. It is okay for you to care, but you don't have to carry the burden of someone else's pain.
Yeah, for that reason, I think for empaths or people even, predisposed to empathy, setting boundaries is just one of the biggest challenges in general, because that taking it in, allowing things all the time.
Yes, it's it's one of those things where it's almost like you don't know how to be anything other than intense. You don't know how to experience without feeling too much or thinking too much. You don't know how to sit still and just quiet your mind and just be. So you're always searching and questioning and struggling to find the meaning in everything. But you know what?
Yeah.
I've finally decided I'm passionate and deep, and even if I'm misunderstood, I'm okay with being the way that I am.
Yeah.
Good.
It took a very, very long time for me to be okay with me. And, I owe a lot of that to a lot of people helping me along on my journey and pointing me in the right direction. And it wasn't easy, and I had to do a lot of hard work and introspection, but it was definitely worth it.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think I think that's pretty much all I've got to say.
All beautiful words. Thank you.
Yes.
Well, I am very honored to be able to join this wonderful team of co-hosts. And I mean, right out of the gate, I volunteered after already having made some commitments this summer. So you'll see me I'll be part-time until I think midsummer. Because I have like a big road trip coming up in June. But I'm really excited. I'm really excited to join this team and meet all the new people who are on the horizon and discover all the stories and walk all these journeys with everyone. And I am very thankful for this opportunity.
We're excited to have you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I definitely am very happy that you've decided to join, and like I said, I don't think that there could have been anybody better to take over.
Well, we have to make sure that there's more people available to be a pain in Eve's ass. And I'm always willing. Always willing.
Yes.
Yes.
Right, I have to come back for that.
And I'm also glad to say that I am, honored that I got to watch the journey that C has taken from being a guest on this show, the first person to ever hit the 3-hour mark, to becoming a co-host and just watching them begin to open up. And I'm so proud of you,
And
bro.
also,
You are amazing.
And your journey, and I mean,
Yes.
we've definitely had some ups and downs on the air, and yeah.
I mean, you've come so far in such a short time, and I'm just in awe of you, dude. Honestly, you're gonna do amazing things.
Well, thank you. I plan on it. I'm striving to help people with mental health. That's my career path. And I just wanted to say I'm so glad I met all of you and that I actually built up the balls to actually message E. Like, I'm so glad I did because I met quite a few wonderful people, and it's just been an amazing experience.
We should announce a bit of news on your part, huh? Congratulations on graduating.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely. That deserves a huge congratulations. So proud of you for that.
Yeah, that is a great accomplishment.
Thank you. I got the actual graduation on June 7th.
Well, I want pictures.
Okay.
We
I'm
don't.
sure
We
my
don't need to
family will
post
take
them, but I
some.
want pictures.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to see too.
Definitely.
Are you decorating your cap?
Oh, yes, I am.
Sweet.
Awesome.
Right? I just wanted to.
All this hassle for a tassel.
Right? And a piece of paper.
Hey, it took me 5 years of high school to get that piece of paper, so I was one of the few that went back. When I could have just gotten my GED, I went back.
Aw, Kat says congratulations to C.
Thank you, Kat. Going to high school. I mean, college. I don't want to go back to high school. Please don't send me back.
That's
But I'll
what
be
we
going
all
to
say,
college.
but
I still have dreams of going back to get my diploma.
yeah.
To this day.
Wow.
Oh, I still have high school dreams, nightmares, whatever they're called. Oh gosh.
Yeah, they're not exactly dreams.
No.
And I'm like, I'm at the school, and they're like, what are you doing here? It's like usually like a week before graduation for me, and I'm like, oh, it's like even though I did get my diploma through Jefferson, I kind of wanted my high school diploma also from Mount Shasta, which is completely irrational and irrelevant because it's the same district, so it's the same exact diploma.
I could see the feeling though.
But I am so much happier to have gotten the Jefferson one. Because those teachers actually cared.
I bet.
Like, Jay and I, we went to high school together.
Mm-hmm.
You can probably name all the good teachers on one hand.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a difference between the people that the teachers that you liked, the teachers who were good teachers,
Yes.
and the teachers who were both.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yes. My junior high band teacher, Mrs. Clausen. If you're listening, I do invite you when I see you online. Yeah. I hated you in junior high. I really did. But if you remember, my freshman year wasn't even halfway through the first semester, like not even a quarter of the year in, I came back and gave you that great big hug because I did not realize what I had. You brought out the best in me. And you demanded nothing less. And then I couldn't get away with my shit, and I wasn't used to it, and that's what pissed me off. And you wouldn't let me. To this day, you're still the best instructor I ever had in any regard.
Yeah, there's definitely a few teachers and professors who I've had who I didn't realize how great they were and what an influence they had until years later. And all of a sudden, it's like, wow, I learned this from that. class and that teacher, and I didn't appreciate it at the time.
Now, I'll say at Jefferson only had 4 teachers.
Wow.
Oh.
I count all 4 of them as some of the best teachers I ever had. They genuinely cared about every student's success, bar none.
Oh. That's awesome.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Right.
Of course, I was in line. It was a continuation high school when they first were founded. They only did GEDs. While I was there for my super senior year, just before the first semester was over, I got pulled aside by the principal, and he's like, "Hey, we're actually going to be credited at the end of the year." And I'm like, "Okay, what's that mean?" I didn't know the difference. That means that we're going to be giving out diplomas at the end of the year instead of GEDs. And we know that you've already completed all your units and you're slated for a mid-year graduation. But if you want to wait, you can actually get a diploma. I'm like, okay, what am I supposed to do? I'm done with all my work. And he's like, that's easy. Come in for one class, 1 day a week. That's it? He's like, yeah, that's it. One class, 1 day a week. Just come in, TA for that one period, and then leave. Done.
That makes so much sense. I was wondering why you did a full year when you had done a half a year before, so okay, that makes sense. Fascinating.
Yeah, and then they're like, oh, by the way, you're probably going to get a call from your old high school. Now that they are becoming aware of what's happening, they're probably going to want to intercept, try to get you to go back there, because they already denied me going back. And sure as shit, within 48 hours, I got a phone call from then superintendent, who was also the principal of that school. And I was like, okay, so what about, we're already a semester in, basically. And we're supposed to have done our letter of intent and all 5 of our career essays. Would I get full credit for them? It's like, no, they'd be late, so you'd only get half credit. Oh, okay.
What the fuck?
So,
wow.
Basically, you're saying, screw you, but we still want you to come back. I'm like, you know what? I don't have to do a letter of intent. I don't have to do career essays. All I have to do is my senior project, like the research paper, and the project. That's it. I don't have to do all that extra bullshit. And the prestige of a Mount Shasta diploma is no different outside of Mount Shasta than any other diploma.
Really nothing.
Right.
Get off your high horse,
never played
guys.
a role in my career.
Now, what's funny is that the principal over at Jefferson wound up becoming the superintendent for the district, replacing the one that I basically got to tell off nicely.
I like that.
Oh, I really like that.
Mm-hmm.
So DeVern just got in. DeVern, Bexy announced that tonight is her last night co-hosting due to her autoimmune disease, and Jay is going to be taking over. And that makes C the senior co-host now.
Ooh.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh no!
Dun, dun, dun!
Oh,
Wow.
do I get hazed? Do we do hazing on a mental health podcast?
I don't.
This would be the exception. You know that.
You would be the exception. Then Jay, me, that's such an awesome way of putting the name. Yeah, way to sell it, idiot bureaucrat. Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
I'm not going to name names, but his initials were Greg Gunkel. Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm really bad with this initial things. Oh, God, I hurt. But I'm in such a good mood now because this was a good episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I found one more thing that I want to I want to read. This is, I want to be remembered for my kindness, for showing up, for giving second chances, for acknowledging my own toxic traits, and for loving selflessly. If it ain't that, then I failed horribly. I want everyone to remember to extend grace, because we're all just walking each other home. And I want to say one more thank you to everybody out there who looked at my madness and chose to see brilliance and grace instead.
Hey, all I know is that you put the phone between your boobs and I got to motorboat.
I want to say that all those things are all that you communicate just in your daily walks, in all of your words. There's nothing else to remember.
You're just a really brilliant individual, Bexy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It shines, all of that. It shines so bright. We can't see any of the other stuff.
Please tell me that you have seen the before and after pics from when I first met Bexy to today. Just so you can see the difference just in the eyes alone.
I have not.
I think I did.
Alright, I'm finding the picture and I'm sending it, Jay.
Yeah, Bexy had dead eyes.
Oh, I really did. It's very bad. There was no life in me. At all.
I've been there, I know it. And because I understand your concerns, that you really do, you shine. I don't think anyone will focus on that in your life.
I just know.
Your heart comes through so strong.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. Your good heart shines through.
Thank you.
Even when she was pretty much dead inside, you could, I mean, there was a light that just shone so blindingly.
I'm looking at that and I don't see dead eyes. I see sadness.
That could
I was miserable.
I see sadness. I don't see dead. I see pain.
I was a different person then.
Yeah.
And I still couldn't tell you exactly why I gravitated towards Bexy. There was a lot of people in that group, and I just gravitated right to her.
We resonate with who we resonate with, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Ian and I, we're kindred. That's the only way that I know how to. We.
Okay, who's got the growler?
It's my cat. He's not growling. He's trying to breathe.
Aww.
Oh dear.
Poor kitty. But no, I mean,
You've come a long way.
I have. And I've worked hard to be better than I was, and to become my own person again when I was not before. And I'm proud of how hard I worked and how far I've come. And I remember the first year that I knew E, I was probably one of the most emotionally fragile people ever.
I wouldn't say ever, but you were really emotionally fragile.
Yeah.
You needed someone to come and help protect you a lot.
Yeah.
And I was more than happy to do it.
I did.
I was like, I get to kick somebody's ass verbally? Okay. Don't have to tell me. Don't have to ask me twice. I'm in.
You know, I
Win-win
saw,
situation.
you know, and one thing that I realized along this whole journey is that, you know, the ability to stand up for myself, the ability to let things, to not let things get to me emotionally, I've always had that ability. Always. I just didn't know how to use it. And that is one thing that I am forever grateful that E taught me how to do, because he is the main reason that I learned how to withstand, you know, the slings, the arrows, the nasty insults and things like that, because he helped me see that everything that anybody said about me that might have been hateful or nasty, it wasn't really about me.
No.
Mm-hmm.
It was, you know, something within them that saw something within me that they couldn't tolerate, they couldn't deal with. So instead of just, you know, so they attack because they don't understand.
Exactly.
And so, you know, I never needed someone to quote unquote save me, but I did need someone to come along and you know, help me to stand up for myself when I couldn't do it.
Advocate.
And he was that for me. And if I ever needed that again, I know all I would have to do was make a phone call or send a text message, and he'd be right there.
Oh, yeah.
If he isn't banned on the platform.
Well, you know.
Yeah. Seriously, though.
Aw. Okay, you got to read the messages.
Okay. I can't see all the messages, so somebody's going to have to read them to me.
All right. Well, we were talking about the cat, of course, was Poor Kitty, about C's cat.
Yes.
And then Deverne, Bexy has graduated the MI Mental program. She hath risen. And then 4, no, you can't leave. We love you. Yeah, but it's...
Bexy won't be leaving completely. I'll be very needy for substitutes.
And we temporarily lost Bexy there.
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry.
It's all right. You don't have to apologize.
I dropped the phone and it clicked everything off.
Oh, no.
It happens.
So, all I heard was Kat said, "Poor kitty."
Then Deverne said, Bexy has graduated the MI Mental program. She hath risen. 4, no, you can't leave. We love you.
Oh.
And then Jamie, you need a cheerleader. And then 4, dude. Aw, E is the best listener. Yeah, I don't know about that.
I do. In my case, you were the absolute best listener.
Yeah, don't tell my wife that. She won't believe it. For some reason, I married one person that I have the hardest time communicating with, but we are working on it still.
Says a lot of positive about you.
What was that?
She says a lot of positive about you.
I never hear it.
Well, now you know.
Okay. I mean, she is a pretty amazing person. I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't have married her if she wasn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Four, you gave me COVID. I'll kick your ass. He said, calling me a chump.
Oh, I just looked up my Twitter and Missy was on there and says, "Please give my love to the gang, my beautiful sister." Oh,
Aww.
we miss you, Missy.
Yes.
You guys. Now I'm starting to get it in the chat. For saying I need to give myself more credit.
You do.
But Macy's already wants to use my head as a float.
I will say it's a hard skill to learn.
Yeah.
I don't choose family that easily. I wouldn't have chosen you as a brother if you weren't a pretty great guy.
Aw. You guys.
Let's make it, he's sick, so let's make him cry. I think this is the thing to do, right?
Oh wait, I can do that. Let me find that poem. I can make him No. I don't want to make him cry like that. I couldn't do it to you.
Just kidding. Don't actually do this.
Yeah, just kidding. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's my sorry, not sorry.
Right. Nah, I don't think that poem could get me today. Now, if I was off kilter with my meds and everything, yeah, it would destroy me.
Yeah, I won't do that today, though. I know that this has been an adventure for me, and one that I will, as I said, continue to enjoy just a little more behind the scenes for the moment. And, all of you out there listening, I love you all. And I will be around. You have not seen the last of Bexy.
Yeah, you still have a book to publish.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Still kicking your ass on that one.
I know, but I'm still writing it too.
Yeah, good.
And now you'll have more time to.
I mean, I am. I have still. I can actually read you the last thing I wrote the other day.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
This is my very newest, and it's really short, but it popped into my head the other night, and it was one of those. It was manic. I woke up at 2:30 in the morning to write this because it was running through my head in my dreams, and I had to get it down. So let's see. When flight or fight is all you know, butterflies and red flags feel the same. And the beauty of the rose wilts before you even speak its name. When you've been hurt so deeply that the sobs don't make a sound, you start to doubt all instincts, and in the darkness, solace is found.
Aww. I like that.
That's fantastic.
I was particularly happy with that when it came out. And then I didn't remember, when I woke up, I didn't remember if I wrote it down, and I reached for my phone, which had fallen on the floor, and I pulled that up, and I was like, oh my God, I did write it. Because when I woke up, I couldn't remember the exact sequence of what I had said. I had the gist of it, but it wasn't coming to me. And I was like, oh, thank goodness I got it down before I fell back to sleep.
Awesome. Those are the best. Yeah, we could definitely, like you were saying, also with the Teespring store.
Yes,
that would be great to finally get those funny ass shirts and stuff made.
Yes,
Lord knows we have a ton of them. It's just, yeah, there's a lot. That this podcast, it's a lot. It really is. It
is. There's a lot that goes into it that behind the scenes for it to even happen. And because of all of our listeners who take the time to share the episodes, the ones who donate, the ones who listen faithfully, it's turned into this amazing thing. And it's only going to get better and better.
I mean, we now have someone that's offered to help out with marketing.
Yes.
That's awesome. We have another person that's offered to try to help out with the booking starting next season or the season after. They're busy right now.
Mm-hmm.
We have a web designer who's also co-hosting now. We have another person who's offered to help with web dev. Yeah, it's amazing. You guys are just absolutely amazing. Offering to help out, because I mean, as it is, every penny we get, as I've said before many times, goes straight back into the podcast. We keep nothing. And anyone that's offering to help out, they're volunteering, which is just amazing. I mean, Bexy, you're volunteering your time for this. C, you're volunteering your time for this. Jay, you're volunteering your time for this, as well as time for the website, which I do like the new site. We got it. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be added to it, and I'm thinking maybe we should just.
We need to polish it up.
It needs to be polished up, yeah. But it looks so much nicer. Like so much nicer.
Yeah, Jay, you've done an absolutely amazing job.
Oh, good. Definitely need to. I see all the faults instantly, the things I need to fix. So it's always good to hear that.
Hey, kind of like with my music. I don't... I hear all the imperfections where I could have done better.
Right.
And see, all I hear when I listen to your music is your talent and your passion and your brilliance.
I have a huge talent. Oh, wait. If anyone's seen Moulin Rouge...
I love it.
And 4 was just saying that, Bex, you will be sorely missed. Well, Bex will still be covering from time to time.
Yeah. I'll be popping in and out, and I'll definitely be listening to episodes and in the chat and everything like that, because what else am I going to do on my Thursday nights?
Tune in and listen like the rest of us.
Exactly.
Be back in the chat again. I mean, you and 4 were the first 2 listeners. Hands down. Besides my dad. He was in that first episode too. But you 2 have been the first listeners. You 2 have been like some of the biggest advocates for this podcast. And I'm eternally grateful for it. And I love when you get those messages that you share to the group. We have a group chat that's just for us. Nobody else. Neener. But when we get messages from people talking about how the podcast has impacted them or helped them or whatever, we share amongst each other. Because, I mean, it is a lot of work doing this. But the reward is just, it's so amazing.
Yes, it is completely worth it. And it's honestly one of the most fulfilling things I've ever done in my life, aside from my decision to take care of Adam. It's right up there alongside taking care of Adam for me. It is. This podcast has been my sounding board, my therapy, my solace. It's been a huge part of me improving my own mental health.
And it's also helped me a lot with my mental health as well.
And I've gotten to help some people along the way, and that's amazing. And I hope people continue to listen, and people will go back and listen to the older episodes. I hope that, you know, the stories that not only we as hosts of the show have shared, but that all of our guests have shared as well, you know, that they resonate with people, and they continue to help people, and sorry.
Okay.
It's all right.
Oh no.
You know, I want people to know that they're not alone out there, and that they don't have to feel like they have to do everything by themselves. You know, I know that I don't need anyone, I'll just do it all myself. Conditioning is a survival tactic. And sometimes you need that to shield yourself from abuse and neglect and betrayal and disappointments.
But you also need a safe place. You need people you can relate to. You need your tribe.
Exactly. Because extreme independence is a trust issue. Because you learn, if you don't put yourself in a situation where I rely on someone, I won't have to be disappointed when they don't show up for me, or when they drop the ball, because the ball always drops, right? And so it's a preemptive strike against heartbreak. So you don't trust anyone, and you don't trust yourself either, to choose the right people to be around you, because trust is hope, and to trust is to be vulnerable. But no matter how you dress it up and, you know, display it proudly to make it seem like this level of independence is what you always wanted, in truth, inside, you're wounded and scarred and brokenhearted behind this protective brick wall that, you know, you say nothing can get in and nobody can hurt. But fortresses and armors are for those in battle, or who believe the battle is coming. And it's a trauma response. But the good news with trauma responses is that you can acknowledge the trauma and you can be healed. So, everybody out there, you are worthy of having support. You are worthy of having true partnerships. You're worthy of love. You're worthy of having your heart held. You're worthy of being adored and cherished. You're worthy to have someone say, "You rest, I got this," and actually deliver on that promise. You're worthy to receive. You are worthy. You don't have to earn it. You don't have to prove it. You don't have to bargain for it. You don't have to beg for it. You are worthy simply because you exist.
What she said. I don't have anything else to say. That is amazing.
I will miss the poet. I can't feel that.
Let's see here. We got messages in here. Deverne, I am in the in-between needing to convince people of the things I want that'll help me get things that I need, and do it between doing it myself, the neutral zone. 4, there are too many people out there that are like that. You will always be there for each other, or we will always be there for each other. Jamie, I tried the I'll do it myself thing for years, and it kind of ruined everything for me. And then 4 again, I can't do it myself and I've never tried. Deanne is my rock and my salvation. My Yorkie Lola helps too, and E is a great listener too. Why do you keep lying about me? Ow. I'm laughing. Trying not to laugh, and it hurts like hell.
Well, I think I've, said everything I need to say.
All right, so since I'm here, I will go ahead and let's get this wrap up going here. We are going to be taking the next 2 weeks off.
How many weeks did you just say?
2.
Oh.
We'll be back first Thursday in June. We have absolutely amazing guests. We will be talking about something that we have not talked about yet.
Ooh, I can't wait to tune in.
Anorexia and eating disorders. You know those impact mental health hard.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
That's going to be an episode not to miss.
Definitely. Yeah, this person they have a lot of followers on their social. I, of course, as we do here, we'll allow them to plug their socials because, of course.
No, we do not support you.
No, you're just for us. No. Aww. There's some good comments in there. Cat, who's chopping onions? Jamie, I'm not crying, you're crying. Followed by, you better be in chat, Bexy. Yeah.
Oh, I will.
Even when Bexy's in absolute agony, Bexy always pops into chat for here and there. You can't keep Bexy away, and that's fine. That's actually awesome.
There you go.
I can't resist.
Well, we have too much fun here.
Yes.
Will you share your poems in chat too?
Sure. I would love to.
Good.
I also put them in the Discord.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, definitely join the Discord. Jay got me hooked on something new. AI art. And I've been dropping them in the Discord, so in the art channel.
Night Cafe Studio.
Yes, definitely. Night Cafe Studio. It is amazing. And it's some of the stuff that people do, I can't fathom how they get the AI to do it.
I know. There's a real skill to these prompts. So what it is it takes text prompts. There's different ways, but I use the text prompts to create art. So you sort of get an actual visual of your thoughts. And so it's really therapeutic and fascinating, addictive.
Yeah. And if you're not careful, it will start sucking money out of your wallet.
Just be careful. You do.
What is it called again?
It's
Night Cafe Studio.
Yeah, if you go to nightcafe.studio, you actually go right into the sign up your account and start making art. My favorite so far is the Dragon's Dream. I literally just gave it one word, dragon, just to see what it would do, and it came up with that, and I was just like, oh my god, that's amazing. And then there's others, okay, that's clearly the streets of London, and that's Cthulhu ravaging the, London. How the hell did they do that?
Yeah, I feed it paragraphs and concepts, all this stuff.
Now, one thing that's cool is that
sometimes it's great, and sometimes it's like, wow, that's wrong.
Yeah, so far from what I wanted.
Yeah, and very often it'll ignore certain prompts, like, no, you don't actually mean that. What?
Well, one thing I noticed is that with a lot of them, if you go into Evolve, you can see exactly how they did it. And there are some that's 11 different prompts. Each prompt is a paragraph. And all different weightings just to get this one amazing photo. It's okay, so how many renditions did you fucking do?
Yeah.
How much money did you spend just to get that one?
So yeah, if you need like, or think that sounds appealing, a visual image of sort of your mind, I find it's even spat out images that were from dreams I had in middle school, which just blows my mind. So might want to check that out. You do get free credits every day, and they do accumulate, so you don't have to pay money. I recommend checking it out.
Yeah, it's 5 credits per day. And there's 2 different modes. There's the artistic mode, which is Jay's favorite, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And then there's the coherent mode, which is my favorite. The artistic one's more about textures than it is about the composition, where coherent's more about composition than it is about textures.
But I found artistic makes more sense than coherent sounds. I don't know. It's sort of a toss-up.
You'll find what works for you. But yeah, and both of them, when you go maximum resolution, maximum time, max out, it's 30 credits for one piece of art. So 6 days of saving.
Yeah, where the artistic one's cheaper. So.
No, actually, you could. That when you max that one out, it's also 30. I got it to
like 16.
30. I got it to 30.
Yeah. Anyway.
Now Jay's like trying to figure out how. Anyway. So yeah, we'll be back in June. Until then, I'm E.
I'm Jay.
You guys are talking over each other. Try it again.
Okay.
So
I'm Jay.
I'm Bexy.
And I'm C.
And that was the most awkward outro ever. Perfect for my exit.
Love it.